billions of dollars. Yeah, with a B, right here in Minnesota. We are talking about over $20 billion in active construction, new infrastructure, tech campuses, aerospace facilities, concert venues, water parks, and entire neighborhoods being built from the ground up across the Twin Cities. And most people have no idea that this is happening. And I'm not talking about Trader Joe's, although that would be good, and I'm not talking about 394 being resurfaced for the fourth year in a row and seemingly fixes nothing. I'm talking about projects that will change where people want to live, where companies will want to operate, and honestly, what this city looks like on a map. All right, 11 of them. I'm talking about 11 projects. Let's jump in. All right, so we are leading with the big one. The Southwest Light Rail Extension is the single most expensive works project in Minnesota history. It is a 14.5-mile rail corridor connecting Eden Prairie, Minnetonka, Hopkins, and St. Louis Park directly into downtown Minneapolis. Now, the budget is $2.86 billion. It started at $1.3 billion. Now, before you say anything, yeah, it went over budget. Duh. Significantly over budget, in fact, because when they started digging the Kenilworth Tunnel corridor, they unexpectedly hit some terrible soil conditions, and so they just kept spending, which again sounds like every single home renovation I've ever seen. It'll be fine. Yeah, famous last words. What matters here, though, is that civil construction is 90% done and that train testing has officially started. And when it opens in early 2027, you'll be able to ride from Eden Prairie to Target Center in 32 minutes. One seat, no transfers, no parking. And I watch for what happens to home values near transit for a living, and I am telling you that entire corridor has my attention right now. Real quick, if you are new here, I'm Mackenzie Erasmus. I'm a real estate advisor with Engel & Volker's Lake Minnetonka, and I cover the Twin Cities market, what's being built, where values are going, and what it actually means if you're buying, selling, or just curious and want to keep up. If that's useful to you, hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Okay, back to billions. By the way, drop a comment down below what city you're in on that green line corridor. Are you watching Eden Prairie, Hopkins, St. Louis Park? I read every single one, and I'm curious to see if you have an opinion on what suburb is going to be affected the most. Now, Microsoft is building one of the largest AI and cloud computing campuses in state history out in Monticello and Becker. We are talking 300 to 500 acres, 500,000 square foot buildings, and a power draw of 400 megawatts. 400 megawatts. That is one of the largest single-site power loads in the history of this state. Now, groundbreaking is set for Q2 of 2026. Is a data center the most exciting thing I've ever covered on this channel? No. Are you going to drive out to Becker to take a photo in front of it? Probably not, because one, you don't know where Becker is. Two, it's a data center. It's not really that exciting. But I will say this, if you are currently living in Becker, all four of you that live there, and if you're somehow also watching this channel, that it is a county's dream tenant. Why? They pay enormous property taxes. They don't have kids that are in a school district. They don't call 911. They don't need new roads. They just sit there, hum quietly, and then write very large checks to the county. So do I personally find this thrilling? You know, not especially, but at least they pay a lot of taxes. Becker and Monticello are about to have a very, very prosperous decade. Now, I want you to stop whatever it is that you're doing and hear this one loud and clear. There is a St. Paul-based aerospace company called Northwind Aerospace. Its clients include NASA and several major defense contractors. Yeah, and it's building a $1.1 billion research complex in Rosemount. It will have 3 wind tunnels capable of powering winds of nearly 4,000 miles per hour. I'm sorry, what? 4,000 miles per hour. For context, a Category 5 hurricane is about 157 miles per hour. These tunnels will be testing hypersonic vehicles and weapons at roughly 25 times the speed of sound. In Rosemount, the land of lakes and tater tot hot dish. And honestly, Guys, I'm in real estate. I can't really explain it beyond that. I just know that it's extraordinary. And it's bringing hundreds of high-paying engineer jobs to the state. And it plants Minnesota inside the $400 billion global space market. Guys, Rosemount is becoming a completely different city. Most people just haven't noticed it yet. So you know that old Ford Motor Company assembly plant in St. Paul and how it's basically sat empty along the Mississippi River for years? It's just kind of been there. It's been an industrial ghost town with a great view. And now it's being turned into what some people are calling a city within a city. 3,800 housing units, 150 square feet of retail, 265,000 square feet of office space, 55 acres of parks, and 20% of the housing that's going to be provided there has to be affordable by design. The next major phase of vertical construction kicks off in 2026, including Riverfront towers and some senior housing as well. And that number, honestly, it stopped me cold. This project is expected to increase property tax revenue on the site by over 1,000%, adding roughly $15 million in annual new tax revenue for the city of St. Paul. From a shuttered car plant to finally a neighborhood that, guys, for context, would fund the city of St. Paul. That's the kind of transformation that typically takes a generation to fully appreciate. All right, so we're halfway through, and this is already a lot of money. If you're finding this useful, will you do me a favor? Will you just hit that like button? It genuinely helps this video reach more people and allows me to tell the story of Minnesota. I really appreciate it. Okay, back to the video. Now, not to be outdone by Microsoft, which, as you know, these two are very competitive, Meta broke ground in 2024 on an $800 million data center at the Umore Park in Rosemount. The facility is 715,000 square feet. That's the size of 12 football fields on 280 acres. And just to make sure that Rosemount likes them, Meta is paying $30 million out of pocket to upgrade the surrounding infrastructure. So Rosemount now has Meta, Microsoft's neighbor to the northwest, and a hypersonic wind tunnel aerospace complex. None of these sentences made sense 5 years ago, but they all ring true today. If you are not paying attention to the South Metro by now, that's a choice, but maybe not a great one. Now here's a fun fact. The Hillcrest Golf Course on St. Paul's east side, it's closed now. And instead of turning it into another golf course or letting it sit there, someone said, what if we build Minnesota's first network geothermal aquifer thermal energy system and powered an entire new neighborhood with heat from the ground? I'll say what? So that's what they did. The Heights is a $750 million, 112-acre eco-urban redevelopment with 1,000 homes, 1 million square feet of light industrial space, and carbon-neutral infrastructure throughout. Now, the roads and utilities are going to be complete in 2026. Habitat for Humanity and Sherman Associates are co-developing it. And XL Energy is building a new service center on site. I guess if they didn't want to sponsor the Wilds hockey arena, they were like, well, we should put our money elsewhere. This is the largest modern investment on St. Paul's Greater East Side, and it is powered literally by the earth beneath it. It's very cool. Oh, get it? Both figuratively and thermally. Now, Blaine is the 10th largest city in Minnesota, and for its entire existence as the 10th largest city in Minnesota, it has not had a downtown, not a main street, not a town square, not even a cute little strip with a hardware store and a diner. Nothing for decades. And no, Central Avenue does not count. That's just one long highway. For decades, 4.2 million people came to visit the National Sports Center every year, and then they had absolutely nowhere to go afterwards. Until now. Blaine Town Center is a $750 million, 70-acre mixed-use entertainment district going up right next to the sports center. It has a hotel, a food hall, a multifunction stadium, a golf and entertainment complex, year-round pickleball, and hundreds of housing units. Site work started in late 2024, and guys, is this the downtown that Blaine is finally getting? Better late than never, and guys, I mean that in a very supportive way. Okay, but I have to ask, if you live in or near Blaine, tell me in the comments, what took so long? Like, I'm genuinely curious. And also, are you excited about this? Or are you like, nah, we should have kept it the way it was? No wrong answers. I'm just curious. Let's debate it. Now, not everything has to be about geothermal and hypersonic aerospace. Sometimes a city just needs a water park. And where are we going to put it? The Mall of America. Yeah, thought the Mall of America couldn't get any bigger? Nope, you're wrong. Mall of America is developing a 430 million, 143 square foot water park called Mystery Cove. 30 slides, a wave pool, a lazy river, and here's the part that's actually genuinely brilliant. They're putting a retractable roof that opens on warm days and closes it the second it gets cold or the cloud's over, which in Minnesota is approximately about 11 months and 2 weeks out of the year, but it's fine. Jokes aside, the roof cuts energy costs by up to 50%. Now, construction will start in 2026 and it opens in 2029. And it's partially funded by the future tax revenue that the mall generates itself, which is a very Mall of America way to finance a $430 million water park. And next time that all of my friends are shopping at Zara or Abercrombie or any PacSun, any of the other retail that is only available at Mall of America, you are helping build a water park. So that's girl math, right? That gives you permission to spend. That's how that works. Anyway, more foot traffic means visitors to Bloomington, and more visitors is always good for the surrounding real estate market. And then in North Minneapolis, 48 acres of old industrial land along the Mississippi is becoming a $350 million mixed-use riverfront district. 520 housing units, 20 acres of parks, advanced manufacturing space, and an 8,000 capacity community amphitheater operated, get this, as a joint venture between First Avenue and the Minnesota Orchestra. This is not a pairing that I saw coming. So you have First Avenue, the home of Prince, and the Minnesota Orchestra, home of Beethoven, together, running a riverfront amphitheater. I have no complaints. Where do I sign? Now, the amphitheater breaks ground in spring 2026 and opens in 2027. And this is the really cool part. A portion of every ticket sold gets reinvested directly into the North Side community to fund youth jobs and local entrepreneurs, which for the North Side is such an integral investment that they're going to be receiving. That's not just a venue, that's a vision. And we close with a concert, or rather a 19,000 seat amphitheater that will be hosting them. The Mystic Lake Amphitheater in Shakopee is a $140 million project built in partnership with Live Nation and the Sioux community. Opening in summer 2026, it connects directly to the Mystic Lake Casino via luxury shuttles, which honestly is just smart. You see your favorite artist, you don't want to deal with parking, so you hop on a shuttle and you end up at a casino resort. That's the whole evening right there. And I'm super excited because I'm going to be going to the Chris Stapleton concert here this summer. Now, Oxford Economics estimate that this venue will generate $750 million annually in fan spending at surrounding businesses and create up to 800 new jobs. If you're shopping for a home in the Southwest Metro, the lifestyle you're buying into just got a whole lot more interesting. Now, 20 billion. One metro that is quietly and then very loudly becoming one of the most invested metros in the entire country. And that's not all of it. Those are just the top ones that I wanted to talk about today. The Twin Cities market, it's not a sleeper market anymore. The jobs are here, the infrastructure is here, the entertainment is being built, and neighborhoods are being created from the ground up right now. Now, I have a question for you. Which do you think out of these projects is going to have the biggest impact on home values? I have my opinion, but I'd be curious to know yours. If you found this video useful, please do like it and share it. Again, it helps me tell the story of Minnesota and help educate other people just like you. If you want to talk through what any of this might mean for you in your situation, be sure to book a call with me. I'll have a pinned comment down below, or you can book a call with me on the channel page. I'd be so curious to learn your story and help guide you in the direction that you want to be. If you're trying to figure out where to land, that is my favorite conversation to have, and I would be more than happy to help guide you. This market, it honestly has a lot of different options, and I will help you make sense of it. Bye, friends, and I will see you in the next one.